Hello everyone and welcome back to Lucky Loads 15, where I'll be giving you my Lucky 15 predictions for tomorrow's horse racing action on here on the channel. If you're brand new to us, what I do is I make a daily vlog for each day's horse racing in the format of a Lucky 15 bet. Sometimes they come in, sometimes they don't. We normally do it each way as well to give us a chance of at least getting some money back and making some profit. I normally predict 4 horses that I think will finish at least in the frame or towards the business end of the race. Like I say, I'm sometimes right and sometimes wrong. But yeah, I just want to also apologise for not making a vlog for today's horse racing action. I didn't have time, unfortunately, on Saturday evening to make a vlog. I did alright today though. I had a couple of bets. I had Temple State Fresco at 12-1, which was a nice player there. So yeah, it wasn't a bad day for me. On Saturday I made a vlog for the Saturday's horse racing action, and it wasn't a great day. We only had natural scenery come for us, which I thought was going to win at one point. Josephine Gordon gave it a great ride in the Northumberland Plate, but just couldn't quite get the other horse that won at the end. I think it was called Higher Power in the end for James Fanshawe, who's been in pretty good form of late. You might remember as well, he had the Tin Man at Royal Ascot, which is a great horse there. So yeah, he's been in good form, and it was quite a good, exciting race and a good finish. Other horses that we selected were Nathania, which Sylvester de Souza, I think, didn't give it the best ride. From early on, it was setting the pace, and I don't think that's the tactics to make that horse win, so that was slightly disappointing there. Then we had True Blue Moon at Curragh in the Railway Stakes. Not a great performance. I think it's still not a bad horse, but I think it was a bit outclassed on the day and might not just be suited to that calibre of race, but it's only had a few starts and it could well improve in future races. And then we went for Grande, the outside prediction, and everything pretty much I said didn't happen on my selection there. I went for a bit of an outsider, but an outsider kind of did win. And then of the top 3 in the market one, it was Capri, which actually there was a little bit of money for on the day, and I remember Shamie Heffernan said on at the races that he was actually should be taken seriously for the race and could run a good race. Well, we did, didn't he? Because he obviously went and won the Irish Derby. So that was a good performance there. Wings of Eagles, you might have heard, is now retired from racing after his pretty short career. But they reckon he might go on to become a stud and a stallion for future horses. So that might be an interesting connection there to see how he might get on as a sire. So all in all, it was quite an interesting day yesterday. Also as well, I did predict Coropic, which I saw a few of you back yesterday. Well, I didn't predict it, but I backed it on a private bet away from the channel, and that one well. So Josephine Gordon was riding really well yesterday, and we're going to go for one of her horses tomorrow, if you would like to pay attention in the vlog for when I get there. But yeah, all in all, it wasn't a bad weekend and an interesting one in the world of horse racing. I'm going to be getting on to which will be a normal run-of-the-mill Monday. Not great cards on tomorrow, but I'll manage to find a few races where I thought some horses might run well, or at least are quite interesting on paper. And the first one we go to tomorrow is Pontefract in the 2 o'clock with Jacob's Pillow. It's Rebecca Basterman who trains this horse, and it will be ridden by Daniel Tudhope tomorrow. This horse arrives here in good form on the turf. Last time out, it finished second over this course and distance with a conditional jockey on board. As Daniel Tudhope takes the ride tomorrow, who's been in great form this season, riding plenty of winners, particularly for David O'Mara, which we did mention on the channel. If you were backing him blind at £1 stake, I believe, in the last few weeks, you would be doing pretty well. I think he was about 40-50 quid up possibly. So yeah, he's been in great form there, and that proves that with that stat. Also as well, this horse won prior to that at Beverley over the same distance, so it arrives here in a good vein of form. It is meeting its rival that it lost to last time, but it had a conditional jockey on board, Rowan Scott, who's not a bad apprentice jockey, but he's got a better professional jockey on board tomorrow, and I think Daniel Tudhope could make this horse, Jacob's Pillow, a major player in the race. And at 6-1, I thought that was an interesting price for what could come to fruition tomorrow. So that's who we're going for there, Jacob's Pillow in the 2 o'clock at Pontefract. Our next race sees us go to the all-weather at Wolverhampton, and the horse that we've gone for here is a horse called Voski, trained by Mark Johnston, who tends to be a bit up and down with horses. He's quite hard to always find the winners, because normally if you pick his horses, they either run a cracker race or they just absolutely finish nowhere and get left miles behind. This has been the case actually for pretty much this type of horse, who probably represents a typical Mark Johnston horse. This horse Voski won on its debut at Lingfield very impressively by 6 lengths and beat some horses that have got not bad form, so that's not too bad there. But after that it's run over 2 handicaps and it hasn't gone so well. You could maybe argue that last time out at Carlisle the ground was a bit soft. Also as well, the other race before that, 1 or 2 things didn't quite go his way. So all in all, he could bounce back tomorrow, and he's 7-1 with bookmakers at the moment. And Sylvester de Souza takes the ride today, and Sylvester's normally a jockey who can make the most out of a horse. He rides a lot of what you look on paper, you think, if it was any other jockey on board, I don't fancy that horse, but he always attracts interest. I know there was a horse today at Windsor which didn't look the strongest on paper, but there was a lot of money for it during the day, and I reckon possibly that could have been for Sylvester de Souza, who's just been an absolutely cracking form. When he has one winner early on in a meeting, normally a lot of punters then start to put money on his horses, because obviously they know what he's capable of. And I thought tomorrow, with Sylvester on board, I think he could potentially bring out some more good in this horse, and it could bounce back well. It's probably a little bit easier this race tomorrow compared to what it's been running over as well, what it's been competing against. It's been competing against some probably a little bit better classy horses. And he's also going back to the all-weather tomorrow, where he's 1 of 1 from all-weather. So all in all, I thought he wasn't a bad and interesting selection there tomorrow in the 3:45 at Wolverhampton. Our next selection, our third selection, then sees us have to wait until the evening flat racing action at Hamilton up in Scotland, and we've gone for Qaviy Cash tomorrow, who's from the Hugo Palmer ride, and Josephine Gordon will take the ride here. She, like I said, has been in red hot form. She had a couple of winners yesterday at Newcastle, getting her first Group 1 win aboard Coropic, which was a very good performance that chased down the horse that was leading by a couple of lengths, and the last 1,500 yards it absolutely came storming through and just got it on the line. So well done there, JC. I think this horse tomorrow could run well. Hugo Palmer as well. His yard have been in red hot form. He often likes JC Gordon riding his horses, and I thought this was interesting tomorrow as it's making its handicap debut off a mark of 75, where last time out it ran a respectable race at Kempton, where it only just lost that race to what was probably a potential improver. But this horse could improve tomorrow, Qaviy Cash. He's run about 11-4 with bookmakers at the moment. He's going up in trip, which could suit. And again, I think this horse, Qaviy Cash, could run a potentially good race tomorrow and definitely be amongst the business end. So that's who we're going for there as our third selection tomorrow. Our last selection then sees us go to the last race of the day, staying at Hamilton. And the horse that we've gone for here is Snookered for Richard Fahey, and Conor Murtagh takes the ride. But Conor Murtagh will be able to use his £7 claim tomorrow, and it's probably one of the best apprentice jockeys around at the moment. He's very young, I think he's only 17, and he could be potentially a star of the future. This horse last time finished second at Wetherby, where it put in a good performance. Handicapper has raised it slightly for that run, but I think it's not a bad raise, and again the £7 will be taken off tomorrow by Conor. It arrived here in reasonably good form. It's had a couple of places on the turf, and again at 11-2 I thought this could be an interesting contender tomorrow, especially in this type of race. So all in all, I think Snookered could be not a bad selection for us as our lucky last selection there tomorrow. But anyway, if you've had a good weekend, let us know in the comments box below. Sorry if you did my lucky 15 on Saturday. It was absolutely rubbish, like I said, apart from natural scenery, but hopefully we'll have a better week this week. If you like our vlogs, please subscribe to us on the channel here. I'm trying to be a horse racing journalist one day. I'm going back to university, like I've mentioned a few times now, to do a sports broadcasting journalism degree. But for those who didn't know, this is what the channel's about. I'm just trying to get some experience of learning how to film, do some reporting, also as well because I want to be a horse racing journalist, give my selections what I think will run well. Like I say, you don't always have to bet on what I think will run well. You can like what you hear, or you can maybe go and have a weigh and have a look at what I've selected, so you don't have to do my bets. I just want to make that clear. Also as well, you can follow us on Twitter at LuckyLoaders15, also on Facebook as well. More active on Twitter, which I've mentioned before, but if you didn't know that, I just thought you'd like to know. Also as well, gamble responsibly. Like I said, please don't bet on my selections if you don't think they're going to win or run well. So yeah, don't spend too much. So yeah, that's all I've got to say for tonight's vlog. Hopefully we'll have a good week this week, good day tomorrow, and hopefully we can get some winners again. So yeah, thank you for watching, and we'll see you soon.